recorded live in Jacksonville, Florida. This is Trivial Warfare. More than just a pub quiz, Trivial Warfare is your gateway to a worldwide trivia community. Join your hosts, Jonathan.
We just described Ric Flair as Neanderthal Man and Planet of the Apes.
Carmela.
That would irritate the hell out. I'm like, I just want my groceries. My ice cream is melting.
Ben.
4 halogens in that list? Oh my God.
You were like, it's not the halogens. I'm like, no, Ben, no.
Those damn halogens got me again.
Aaron.
I haven't started cooking more, but I have started thinking about cooking more, so I've looked at a lot of recipes for things. Mostly cocktails.
Zahkia.
I'm a very happy evil genius.
Yeah.
And Nick.
For all the listeners out there, if you spend enough money, you can be where I am today.
And the rest of the Trivial Warfare Army for another week of fun and games. Now here's your host, Jonathan Oakes.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Trivial Warfare. We are the podcast that takes the pub quiz out of the pub and brings it home to you. My name is Jonathan, and I am here today with Zahkia Mendoza. Hello, Zahkia.
Hello, Jonathan.
I am so glad you are here. Thank you for joining us.
Of course. This is much better than, not say as much better what I did last night, but I hung out with a Detroit Lions cheerleader. You imagine she's feeling a type of way.
Wait. Where is this just like a friend? Was Dane involved in this? What is the scoop here?
So every year, one of the Detroit Lions cheerleaders hosts a trivia and like dance thing. My friend and I have gone every single year, and yeah. We didn't talk about the Lions, but I did see like the Detroit Lions 2023 picture up there. So,
do you get points for dancing and answering?
No, just answering. But in like pub trivia, they play music.
Yeah,
you dance during the think-in time.
Fun.
It's so much fun.
That's awesome. Good deal. Well, Zahkia, we have 3 awesome guests today. First up, Troy Cooper is here. Hello, Troy.
Hello.
Welcome to the show, my friend. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Chip Scales is with us today. Hello, Chip.
Hello, Jonathan.
Welcome to the show. I am glad you are here as well. And apparently, you and Troy got the dress code message because there are some very similar colors going on there.
I'm from Wakanda right here.
That's right. One of you is the basic color. One of you is the African version of that basic color. I love it. Well, it's awesome to have you here. And last but not least, Hannah Landvater is with us today. Hello, Hannah.
Hello.
Welcome back to the show as well.
Yeah, happy to be here.
All right. I want to get to know each of you a little bit better. Troy, we're going to start with you. Please tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Yeah, hi. I'm Troy Cooper. I am in Lexington, Kentucky, and I'm an associate professor in the School of Information Science here at UK. Something fun about myself. I never know how to answer this question. I've done it twice before on this show, and so I my go-tos are taken. And so I was asking my wife earlier, and she said, "You should talk about your obsession with the Muppets." I said, "Okay." So yeah, I've always sort of been like a huge Muppets fan.
Yeah.
Which is, growing up in the 90s, there wasn't a lot of Muppets going on at that time, outside of like Muppet Babies.
Hey, Muppet Babies was legit.
Absolutely, yeah, and even the new one. I've got my kids watching the new one, and so that's been fun to pass down. But I've just always had a thing for the Muppets, and love the movies, and just wholesome fun.
Okay, couple of questions. Who's your favorite Muppet?
That is an impossible question.
You got to answer.
Yeah, but if I had to choose one, I got to go with Fozzie Bear. The comedic. As a dad now, I relate to his jokes, and he's just a great character all around.
Love that. Favorite Muppet movie?
This one might be a little controversial. My favorite Muppet movie is not A Muppet Christmas Carol, but A Muppet Family Christmas.
Oh, okay.
A Muppet Family Christmas was a TV special that came on back in the 80s, and For the longest time, I couldn't never find it even on DVD or anything like that. But one of my friend's moms actually sent me a bootleg copy of it on a DVD one year.
Pirating Muppet movies.
That's right. So that she's found. And so I'm really happy to have that. We watch it every year as a tradition. And I find it to be a better Christmas kind of movie than The Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's fantastic. Well, we are super glad you're here. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
All right, Chip, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Chip Scales. I am an elementary music teacher, so I teach K through 5 general music, 5th grade band, and soon to be a 3rd through 5th grade marching band. My thing that I like to do is fun. I like to play games. Like I play Magic the Gathering. I play video games with my friends. Something I like to do in my pastime.
I love that. Now, as an elementary school music teacher, you could probably answer this question as well as anybody in the world. Why do we insist on teaching our elementary school kids the recorder? It is the only time in their life they're going to be exposed to the recorder. It is an unnecessary instrument.
You say that until you start putting band instruments in kids' hands. So the recorder, the fingerings there line up with the saxophone very well and a lot of other woodwind instruments. So it actually works really well together. I have a student that's at middle school level already because she's like, oh, I remember this. So it's much easier.
Okay, so it actually does. There's something about it that relates to a more universal instrument in the future.
Yes, fingerings.
Got it. All right. I accept that. You've heard as much recorder as anybody in the world, probably.
I will tell you, I'm the person that's like, all right, we're not going to play these recorders so they're going to get on my nerves. Y'all going to play good, and I'm not going to have no trash recorders in my classroom.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I happen to love a bad school band or just bad like orchestras in general. There's like an orchestra that's something, I can't remember their name, but their whole shtick is that you have to play a different instrument than what you're normally used to. And they have a recording of So Sprach Zarathustra. That one. I freaking love it. Every time I need a laugh, I play that and I just pee myself laughing. So
wow.
I'm into it. I love it.
We need to paste this into the spoiler thread once this episode is posted so people can hear that.
Will do.
I love that.
Put an instrument in your hands.
What?
Well,
We're going to put an instrument in everybody's hands here. We'll just play.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly what they do.
I've got an electric guitar in the closet that I don't know how to play. I'll be happy to strum a few notes on there. All right, well, Chip, it's great to have you here as well.
Thank you.
And Hannah, tell everybody where you're from, what you do, and something fun about yourself.
I'm Hannah. I'm from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, close to Hershey. That seems to be the better landmark. And I'm a traffic engineer, so I work on traffic signals and spotting and pavement marking type things. Something fun about me, I used the symphony member the last time I was on, so I've done 6 half marathons. So that's been fun. Yeah.
Nice.
So when you said you had been to Martinsville for the race and said, and we ran the day before, when you talk about running, you mean running. You're not talking about, oh, that was a quick jog around the neighborhood.
Yeah. So the Martinsville one was 5K, and it was my mom's year of 5Ks. That's what got me into running. Was she wanted to do a half marathon when she turned 50. So we did a half marathon here in Harrisburg the year she turned 50, like the weekend of her birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And then she wanted to do a 5K every month the year of her 50th year. So we were doing 5Ks every month, and then we capped it off with another half marathon. So we needed one when we were down in Martinsville in March, and so that was our March 5K that year.
So were you a runner before that?
Oh, no.
No?
College Hannah would be terrified that this is a hobby that I got into.
I mean, very old Jonathan is also terrified. How did you cope?
I mean, my mom got into it when I was in school, when I was finishing school up, and I moved back home. And she wanted to do this, and she was like, it would be great if one of my daughters would, like the classic mom guilt trip. and I fed into it, and I discovered that it's actually a great way to clear my head and, get some exercise in. So I've been enjoying it. I went for a run the day before I took my PE exam for engineering. College Hannah would have never imagined that that's how she cleared her head the day before one of the biggest tests she'd ever take. So But I went out and put like 4 miles on, and my head was clear, and then I was ready to take the test the next day. So
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I'm glad that all of you are here. We're going to have great fun today, and we're going to get it started right now with Warm It Up, Chris.
It's time to warm it up on Trivial Warfare today. And there's only one person who can warm it up for the TWA, and that's Chris. And sometimes Jonathan.
And the part of Chris is going to be played by Zahkia.
Zahkia as Chris Hollister. I'm a wonderful person. I'm a star.
And
Hopefully,
part Muppet.
And part Muppet.
Actually, Troy, when you said Fozzie's your favorite Muppet, I made an assumption about you. I want to know if it's true. Out of the main people on Trivial Warfare, all the different hosts, do you relate to Chris most clearly?
I would say probably yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris is a Fozzie bear.
Right, yeah.
That's what made me think of it.
I don't know if you can see here. I didn't think about it, but the Fozzie's right over here, too. He's hanging up on
there's a little Fozzie in the background. All right, Zahkia.
So the Muppet I identify most with is Animal. So this is Animal as Fozzie. But I'm not going to explain Warm It Up Chris to you as Animal because that would be unintelligible. But today's Warm It Up Chris is in the theme of our great national parks. I have the top 25 most visited national parks in the United States. And you just tell me, just give me a park. I'll tell you if it's on the list.
Like Zoink Scoob.
You've heard of these. Troy, you're up first.
Okay, it's got to be Yellowstone.
Yellowstone is on the list. Nice job. Chip, you're up.
Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon is on the list. I would say Yellowstone is number 7. Grand Canyon is number 2. Jonathan.
I'm going to go with Arches National Park.
Arches is number 20 on the list.
Wow.
Nice job. Hannah.
I'm going to go with where I ran my last half marathon and say the Smoky Mountains.
Great Smoky Mountains is number 1 on the list. Nice job.
Ooh. It's so much national park. You're all. I've been there like 3 times, and I've never intentionally gone.
That actually surprised me. I thought Grand Canyon was number 1, but yeah.
I think she said Troy.
Yosemite?
I did say Troy. Yosemite is on the list. It's number 6. Chip.
I am not sure if it's a national park or not. I am not that great with that. I'm gonna say Niagara.
Niagara is not in the top 25.
I think it must mean that it's not a national park because Niagara is very heavily
visited. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hannah, you're up.
The Everglades?
Everglades is number 23 on the list. Nice job. Jonathan.
All right, I think this is a national park. I am going to say the Statue of Liberty.
I don't know. It's not on this list.
Okay. The reason that I went there is that we've had something like this in the past, and that was like the top one, and I was like, that's not a national park.
It's hard because there's national parks, and then there's like national landmarks or monuments or battlefields. So there's only like 52 that are actually parks.
Yeah, and I will say,
so that's
yes. Hannah is correct. They're national parks. They're national monuments. A national monument can turn into a national park. There is an example of here of something that you might think of as a monument, but it's actually a national park. And that's what I'll say about that one.
I'm going to stick to more park-like answers until I don't have any more then.
Okay. Troy.
How about Glacier National Park?
Glacier, number 10. Nice job. Chip.
Lord Jesus. Don't come back to me. Don't come back to me anymore. Oh, gosh. It's the forest across from the Golden Gate Bridge. What is it?
You talking about the Muir Woods?
Yes.
I think that's that. So Muir Woods is not the answer. However, there is another...
Redwood National Forest.
That's what.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a different place, though.
It's a different place, and I think that's not the one I was even aiming for. I wanted, it might have a different name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone to the one. I've gone over the Golden Gate Bridge to get to Muir Woods, so I knew that's where that was located at least.
Yeah. Hannah.
I'm gonna take a shot at the monument one. Mount Rushmore?
It is not Mount Rushmore, but I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Going back to more parky answers, I'm going with Zion National Park.
Zion is one of my favorite national parks. It is number 3 on the list. Troy.
Well, there's only one in Kentucky. I don't know if it's in the top 25 most visited, but it's Mammoth Cave.
I am aware of Mammoth Cave. It's not in the top 25.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, Chip.
I yield to Jonathan.
Okay, I will give you a hint to the Northern California one. That it's not redwood, but is a name of a type of tree that's
Sequoia?
there you go.
100%.
Yeah, sequoia is the answer. Hannah.
Acadia?
Acadia is a correct answer. Sequoia is number 24. Acadia is number 5. Jonathan.
Let's say Bryce Canyon.
Bryce Canyon, number 15 on the list. This is our last time through before we start throwing spaghetti at the wall. Troy, what do you have?
How about Grand Tetons?
Grand Teton, number 12. Very nice. Chip, want to take a stab?
No.
I'll guide you to one.
All right.
It's the name of a state and what the big geological feature there. A small state, an island state, and their main geological feature.
Hawaii?
Mhm.
No. Okay.
So it's Hawaii, and the name, like, what geological feature do you associate with Hawaii?
A volcano.
Yes!
There you go.
Hawaii volcanoes. Hannah.
Rocky Mountains?
Rocky Mountain. Hawaii volcanoes, number 19. Rocky Mountain is number 4. Jonathan, let's close it up with you.
Joshua Tree.
Joshua Tree is a correct answer.
Hey, cool.
Do you guys want to throw some spaghetti at the wall and guess the rest?
Is Carlsbad Caverns on the list?
It's not, and I have a sad story. I tried to get to Carlsbad Caverns, but if you're trying to visit, please know that you need a reservation now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is the monument one, is that the St. Louis Arch?
It's the St. Louis Arch. Yeah.
That was the other one that was paired with the Statue of Liberty in the thing I'm remembering.
Mm-hmm.
The Parkway, I can't think of what it's called, but the
Blue Ridge?
Yeah, is Blue Ridge Parkway on that?
It's not in the top 25.
Okay.
How about Florida Keys?
Florida Key is not in the top 25.
Or maybe Tortugas?
So dried Tortugas is the least visited.
Yeah. Because it's so hard to get to. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we will keep it pushing. I'll let you know which ones you didn't say.
Okay.
Number 9 is the Cuyahoga Valley near Cleveland.
Okay.
That news to me. I lived in Cleveland and I did not go there. Number 11 is the Indiana Dunes. Number 13 is Hot Springs.
Okay.
Number 4 is Olympic.
I've been there. Darn.
Number 16 is Mount Rainier. Number 18 is the newest one, New River Gorge.
Oh, in West Virginia.
Mm-hmm. Number 21 is Shenandoah. Number 22 is Capitol Reef. And I'm a little surprised no one said number 25, Death Valley.
Did not realize it was a national park.
I have it here, and I thought it was wrong.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't doubt yourself, Chip.
Oh, so I'm shaking my fingers as a bit of confidence to you.
There you go.
But that is your Warm It Up, Chris.
All right. Good job, everybody. That was a good one, Zahkia.
Thank you.
All right. Well, today's episode is going to be number 468. That means we are on the main feed. I want to let you know that if you enjoy what you're listening to, if you like Trivial Warfare, there is a lot more of it out there for you. You can go to trivialwarfarearmy.com, sign up as a sergeant or higher, and you'll get access to our entire back catalog of all of our episodes. Also, if you want to come on the show, sign up as a lieutenant or higher, stick around for a while, and you'll get the invite to come and play along just like these fine folks. Today's game is going to be an interesting one. It is, for the first time in a long time, it's going to be a 3-on-1. It's going to be Chip, Troy, and Hannah versus Jonathan. And we haven't done it in a long time because I'm not sure I'm able to perform like I used to. I'm not a young man anymore. But we're going to see how this goes. So Chip, Troy, and Hannah versus Jonathan with Zahkia hosting. And it's time to play the game.
Players. Oh, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. This is Mr. Literature himself, cordially inviting you to the game. This is 6 rounds of trivia goodness. 3 questions per round. Every right answer gets you 10 points. In the middle, we'll take a pause for the cause and ask a midpoint question worth up to 20 juicy points. After round 6, you can wager any or all those points you've been building up and take a shot at the final round. It's a series of theme-based questions we call the Gauntlet. It's just that easy, baby. But this game ain't gonna play itself, players. Let's get it on.
It is time to play the game. I will say learning more about our contestants is going to make this game interesting. But Jonathan, you are a strapping young lad, so I think you're going to do fine.
I am neither strapping nor young. I am a fatting old man.
We're all there.
I mean, to me, you're not old until, I don't know, like you're over 70, but those are Zahkia rules.
I got you.
But I like to do a little tie-in sometimes. So round 1, question 1, your category is geography.
Geography.
And it has a tie-in to our Warm It Up Chris. The westernmost point in the contiguous United States is Cape Alava, located in Olympic National Park. In what state?
Zahkia, do you want me to just chat to you my answers, or are you okay with me just remembering what I'm thinking?
I'm okay with you remembering. Do you trust yourself to remember?
I mean, I know I trust myself. I just want to make sure you're okay. I can lock in.
I'm fine. Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah, you can talk it out.
So my first thought was Washington. She said the contiguous United States, and Washington has the westernmost point, I believe.
Yeah, and that makes sense for where I think Olympic is.
Right.
Pretty sure
and
it's the Pac Northwest. So
the capital is Olympia in Washington, right? So maybe that has something to do with it too.
Washington, we're all good.
Yep. Washington. I'm good with that. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll lock that in.
Yeah, so very similar logic for me. I said I've been to Olympic National Park. I was thinking of the time that I was in Washington. Olympia is the capital. I thought of the exact same thing. It's contiguous. It seems like there's a little jut outwards to the west in Washington that doesn't exist in the other places. And it was also listed in the list that she gave earlier. Since she tied it in, I noticed that it went Olympic and then Rainier was exactly after that, and it seemed like it was geographically coordinated, so Rainier is right there as well. So I said Washington.
Everyone got it. The correct answer is Washington. Nice job.
Sweet. Round
1, question 2, your category is food.
Food.
Super Crema Gianduia is a hazelnut and chocolate spread created by Pietro Ferrero and adapted and sold as what? By his son Michele in 1963 with the intention of selling it around Europe.
I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah.
The only thing that has hazelnut and chocolate that I love is Nutella.
And I think I started that train, and I think everyone else right before he locked in was kind of agreeing. So are we all good with that?
The only other thing that came to mind for me was those Ferrero Rocher candies, because that was the name, right? Ferrero, I think she said.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you guys, if you don't have it open your chat. That's where she's pasting the questions. You can reread the questions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. It says spread. Why are we?
Oh, spread. Yeah. Okay. It's definitely Nutella then. Yeah.
All right. We're going to lock in Nutella.
The first thing that I thought of was the Ferrero Rochers, because it is a little crispy chocolate with a hazelnut in the middle and a chocolatey spread on the inside. And I was like, wait, this is a spread. This isn't the candy. What's the hazelnut? Oh, I didn't know Ferrero created Nutella, but that's the hazelnut chocolate spread, so I'm going Nutella.
Your correct answer is Nutella.
All right.
Ferrero is a big hazelnut chocolate company, a confection company in Italy. So yes, Nutella is your correct answer. Nice job.
I was going to say, Nutella is forever known as chocolate spoon in my house now. Because when the kids want like a small dessert or something, they'll go dip the spoon in the Nutella package and get
That's
it.
pretty
So
great.
chocolate spoon.
I was just thinking Nutella doesn't seem like a great name for a food product, but it's a hell of a lot better than Super Crema Gianduja.
Yeah. Yeah, Super Crema Gianduja is what they call it in Piedmont, that Piedmont region of Italy. They're like, we need something more easily said around Europe, so they went with Nutella. Round 1, question 3. Your category is food and drink. Much like champagne and Parmesan cheese, port wine is a protected designation of origin product, meaning the only wines that can be called port must come from the Douro region of this country.
I'll lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, Hannah.
I was thinking the same thing you were thinking, Troy. I agree that Portugal makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah.
I have no clue, so I am willing to go with the team here.
Yeah. When I hear of port wine, that's usually what I think it's. Yeah, just a shortened version of Portugal. I don't. It's probably more complicated than that, but that's what I always associate it with. So that would be my guess. We can lock in with that. Yeah,
lock in Portugal.
Cool.
I did not say Portugal. So when I think of port wine, I think of Spain. And I don't know. I literally thought, God, isn't port wine, isn't that like Spanish? And then I thought, what if it's Portugal? Portugal starts with the word port. Oh, that'd be a good reason to go Portugal. But my initial instinct was Spain, so I didn't let myself veer off, and I didn't have anybody to argue with. So I went with Spain.
All right. So Jonathan said Spain. Troy, Chip, and Hannah said Portugal. Your correct answer is Portugal.
Good job.
You put the port in Portugal. Or, yeah. Whatever.
You can take the port out of Portugal, but you can't. No. Doesn't work.
You can't take the Ugol out of the port?
You can take the port out of a gal, but you can put Portugal.
So
it doesn't work at all.
No.
So it gets its name, port, from a city in Portugal called Porto.
Beep,
Yeah.
beep. Ah! I didn't like the idea that they would just name it Port, short for Portugal. I was like, I don't believe that. But I know the city of Porto. Jen Briney, my friend, stayed in Porto for 2 weeks. She loved it there. Oh, as soon as you said a city, I'm like, they have a city called Porto. Now I'm upset.
No, don't be upset. It's only round 1. But at the end of round 1, Jonathan, you have 20. Troy, Chip, and Hannah, you have 30.
Great start.
Yeah. Round 2, question 1. Your category, break the chain. The national flower of the Netherlands is not the tulip, but this flower that comes in Oxeye, African, English, and Shasta varieties, and was called the Eye of the Day by Chaucer.
I'm 50-50 on it, and I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah. What did you say?
I think we're not really sure.
Talking out.
We're not really sure. Got a couple of options we're working through. When you said that the category name, break the chain, it made me think of daisy chain, where you kind of string the daisy together to make like the daisy like crowns and things when you're a kid. And also suggested violet.
African violets are a thing.
Right.
But I like that I like that your daisy went with the chain. If that was a hint, hopefully it was a hint.
Yeah. And the eye of the day is better suited for a daisy, than it is a violet. We're taking that last line of the question.
I just thought, with the break the chain as the title of the category, I'm not sure. I was just trying to tie a flower to that somehow.
I think we're all together on daisy from the sound of it, though. So
yep.
Y'all feel like we can lock in on daisy?
Yeah.
All right, lock in daisy.
All right, Jonathan, You were 50-50. What were your 50-50s?
They were not Daisy, even though that's a wonderful way to get to an answer with the category, and it sounds like it could be right for sure. For me, Violet was the first thing I thought of because African violet is definitely a thing. So if you know that there's a thing, then maybe that's right. The other one that I came to was iris, because an iris is in your eye, and that would be it could be that the word for this flower was an eye-related word, and that we named the iris of an eye after the flower kind of situation. So I was 50-50 for me between iris and violet, and I went with iris. But I think I like your answer better because of the category.
Iris is a great Goo Goo Dolls song, but it's not the correct answer.
That's a shame.
Eye of the day is a day's eye or a daisy.
Oh, you guys are doing awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thanks for pulling me off of Violet, Troy.
All right. Round 2, question 2. Your category, TWA, that's Trivial Warfare Army, to YVR.
I'm going to start writing down the categories so that I don't overlook them, because without the chat going back and forth, I need to remind myself. What was the category again?
TWA to YVR.
Okay.
So, your question. Rain City is a nickname for what North American city, as it averages 48.6 inches of rain annually in a temperate rainforest climate. It's not an especially snowy city, which makes it an interesting choice for the 2010 Olympic Games.
I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah can talk it out.
3 in a row here.
I think everybody's trying to remember where the 2010 Olympics were.
Right, yeah. I don't think I'm going to get there from Rain City, so the Olympic connection is going to have to be it, I think. 2010. I feel like at some point there was a Montreal Olympics. I don't know if they would have had a winter. I mean, I guess they would have. Probably not look in Mexico for Winter Olympics.
No.
So probably U.S. or Canada, I would guess.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Vancouver? Wasn't there a Vancouver?
Ooh, yes.
That's right near Washington.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And that, I think they were more recent. I like that.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys want to lock in with that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. We'll do Vancouver.
Okay. Jonathan, what did you say?
So the whole rain thing took me to Seattle immediately. I knew Salt Lake City was a place where we'd had a Winter Olympics, and Lake Placid's a place where we'd had Winter Olympics. So I wrote those 3 down immediately, and then I reread the question and noticed that it said North American city. And that was like, okay, well, what if it's not a U.S. city? How about Vancouver? I like that because it's very close to Seattle. It's in the same climate. It's just as rainy as Seattle. So that feels pretty good. Is there anything else I can think of that would take me there? And I looked back at the category, which was TWA to YVR, and the airport code for Toronto is YYZ, Pearson International Airport, and it's also the foundation of a Rush song. And I thought to myself, if YYZ is Toronto, what if the airport naming convention for Canadian airports is start everything with a Y and then have another 2 things? And the other 2 letters here are V and R, which are the first and last letters of Vancouver. So that was my little secondary logic to take me and keep me in Vancouver.
So both teams say Vancouver. Your correct answer is Vancouver.
Yes.
Good job.
Jonathan, you're absolutely correct about the airport naming conventions in Canada. They all start with Y.
Wow, that was just a educated logic there.
Thank Rush.
After just using the category to get the answer on the last one, I completely neglected it this time. Didn't even look at it.
It helps for me that I have flown in and out of the Toronto airport at least 5 times.
Yeah, I will say categories are helpful. Not all the time, but I try and, I can throw it in when I like it. Round 2, question 3. Your category, with feeling. A pugilist might know that to play a piano piece like Prokofiev's Sonata No. 6, called Pugno, you'll have to use what?
Glad we have a music teacher.
Elementary music teacher.
Elementary. How much per coffee have you teaching to your third graders?
Just listening.
Zahkia, a question about the question.
Mm-hmm.
When it says to play a piano piece like such and such, you'll have to use what? The way the commas are placed makes it sound a little bit like any piano piece. Is that true, or is it specifically a piano piece like this example?
So this particular piano piece has a notation that you can play it col pugno.
Okay.
It isn't exclusive to this, but this is just an example.
But it's not every piano piece. It's not to play any piano piece. Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, I don't think I'm right, but I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah.
They do have a lot of atonal pieces, like what we're talking about right now. We're going through pugilist, thinking of boxer. They do have pieces that use mallets, and you can open the top of the piano and reach in there. There's a lot of atonal music that's like that as well.
Yeah.
We also threw around pugilists. Boxers wear boxing gloves. Maybe you play the piece with gloves, but I don't know that wouldn't really affect the sound at all. I don't believe. So maybe the mallet makes more sense.
Yeah, I also threw out pedal, but I think using one of the pedals is way more common than sort of the thread of this question, which is what kind of is drawing me towards using a mallet.
I think I'm okay with mallet if you guys are okay with mallet, because I've seen people play with mallets, but I've never seen the piano part. I've only seen the trombone part.
Okay. All right, then I think we're going to in. Oh, sorry, Troy. Then we're going to lock in mallet.
All right.
All right.
So having a music teacher on your team does have a little bit of an awesome advantage there. That's really cool if you're right. I also knew a pugilist was that boxing is a type of pugilism. And I struggled with the idea of using a glove to play piano for most of the time that I was thinking. It's like, God, maybe there's like a special glove or something. But then it hit me that a boxer doesn't have to wear gloves. A boxer can be a boxer just with their fist. And then I thought, what if it's fists? What if this is a situation where you're playing something really hard and you're intentionally just taking your hand like this and banging it into multiple keys at once to give a discordant kind of eruption of a sound? Obviously, this could be something I'm completely making up, but I said fists.
Jonathan said fist. Troy, Chip, and Hannah said mallet. I do have a correct answer. And it's pretty weird, but con pugno, you play with your fist.
Wow.
Yes! Woo! And you notice that pugilist and pugno, like PUG, similar roots. It's your fist.
Nice pull.
Yeah, very good. So at the end of round 2, Jonathan, you have 40. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, you have 50.
That was, if I have any chance of winning this, that was a very important question to get.
Round 3, question 1, your category. It can also be a jacket. I was on a classical music kick. I'm so sorry.
Oh, by the way, Zahkia, the category last time was with feeling. What was the tie-in? Because I went back to with feeling multiple times. I'm like, fists, gloves?
That's Zahkia just having fun with her, thing. So if you're punching, it's with feeling, but also FE is iron. Iron fist. It was just really me being super silly and
I thought for sure this was going to be like an encore situation, like a once more with feeling kind of jazzy, whatever. Okay.
No, that was me being stupid with myself. Let's get into round 3, question 1. Your category, it can also be a jacket. It's also another classical music question. I am so sorry. It's hard to imagine that actress Bo Derek and Nintendo composer Koji Kondo have much in common, but a link between them exists in the composer Maurice Ravel's love of Spanish dance. Bo Derek starred in a movie that features Ravel's most famous composition, and Kondo said that the main Legend of Zelda theme is a reworking of this piece.
I think I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah can talk it out.
I think the first song I thought about was Ravel's Quartet to the End of Time, and I thought about Zelda Songs of Time, but it's not the main title, and I don't think it has anything to do with the jacket.
And Hannah said that maybe she had a piece with the symphony that.
But I
About the
can't.
Pavane. Does Pavane mean jacket?
Yeah, but I can't think of like it's got a, and I can see the piece in front of me. We're literally doing it in like 2 weeks, and I think it's a Ravel, but I can't. But it's
He does
slower.
have a Pavane. He does
Yeah.
have a Pavane, yes.
And it's something like
All I know is jacket in Italian is giacca.
I'm gonna be
Is
so
it
mad if it's this
a
piece.
Spanish dance that has to do with the jacket, like a flamenco jacket. I don't know.
Yes.
Am I thinking it's like something to do with an infant or I'm gonna be so mad.
The main Zelda theme is a reworking of this piece. Yeah, I have no idea.
30 seconds left.
Do you guys just want to go with the Pavane answer? I know it's not. I don't think it's going to be the Quartet at the time. That's very slow and ethereal. I don't think it's going to be this. So you just want to go with the Pavane?
We can.
I think that might be our best bet at this point.
Yeah.
All right. Jonathan, what did you say?
I didn't write down too many things. I wrote down 2 things. So Ravel is one of those names where it's like, okay, I've heard this name before. It's not a stranger. It's a known thing, and there's like, take your time and see if another word hits you, to see if a word hits you related to Ravel. And I had started off with something I don't even think is a dance or a song. I think it's like an opera or something. I started off with La Traviata, which may not even be Spanish. It might be Italian. But the other one that came to me specifically with Ravel's name on it is something Bolero, I think. And I like the way Chip's nodding. I don't know if it's a Ravel thing. I don't even know if it's a song or dance thing, but in my mind, what came out from the word Ravel was Bolero, so that's what I locked in with. And I then I thought about the jacket. I've never heard of a bolero as the name for a jacket, so that didn't feel good at all.
Well, Maurice Ravel is known for his bolero.
Get out of here.
And bolero jackets are absolutely a thing. They're like they look like the bullfighting jackets. They're like cut short and close cut. Yeah, bolero.
Okay.
The sad thing is, I know I've played this like 6 times. I was like dun digga dun digga dun dun.
Yes,
digga dun digga. Yeah. I would say Star Wars first before I would say Zelda.
Well, talk to Koji.
Oh,
yeah.
I thought
okay.
Star Wars was similar to Holt's Mars Ring of War. That's what I think of with the Empire's March. But there are parts in there. They're like da 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 da. That's absolutely in there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that was right, because I had like a really embarrassing revelation that they can attest to in the chat here. We had talked about like the Ocarina of Time Zelda game. And I was like, oh wait, Macarena sounds a lot like Ocarina. That's a Spanish kind of dance.
Wait, your O face of came because of Macarena?
Yeah.
Oh no.
And I think that tells you a lot about me. You know, not so surprising that Fozzie's my favorite character anymore. Waka waka.
Maka Maka, Reina. All right, round 3, question 2, your category. I was told there would be no disease. Put physics, geometry, and tuples aside, and tell me the name for a type of disease that is spread through a living agent, like a mosquito or tick, to another living organism.
Tuples?
Tuples.
Okay. I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah. You can talk it out.
Well, we don't have a lot. We didn't have any instant epiphanies or anything. The category makes me think that it is probably math related, because just the phrase, I was told there'd be no math. And then with the physics, geometry, and I'm not sure what tuples are, but tuples.
Tuples for paper and string. You da 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 da.
Tuples, tuples, tuples are back.
Oh, I think I do know this. I think it just hit me. Is this vector? Isn't when something is a vector of something else?
It's matter.
It is a math term.
I'm pretty sure I've heard the term vector used in like pathology sort of stuff.
It was what, like, I said virus, and I'm like, it can't, like you said, there's no math related term there, but you might be right with vector. It's definitely in geometry and physics, because they were the death of me in physics. It's the only thing that sort of makes sense.
Like I said, it just sort of hit me that I feel like I've heard that term associated with disease before.
Mm-hmm.
You guys want to go with that?
Yeah.
Let's go. Do it.
All right.
It is anything.
We'll lock in vector.
Okay, Jonathan, what did you say?
I hope it's not vector. I'm in the same place. I was like, okay, put physics, geometry, and tuples aside. I was like, okay, maybe there is a math piece of this. And so the words I wrote down that I didn't go with were vector, angle, math, and arithmetic. And I was like, oh, vector, that was the one that I really thought about the most. And I was like, that's like the vector of approach, right? It's like, what's the threat vector? How did this disease get here? Which I didn't feel like meant anything in terms of organism to organism or how it was spread. The word that I wrote down last and the one that I went with may be completely wrong as well, or maybe Vector's right. It's a type of disease. I called it a communicative disease. Communicative is a property in math, like a property of the way that the different parts are done. I don't know. But it had it had the mathematical tie-in, and a communicative disease has the word community kind of built into it, which feels like maybe that means living to living. And so I said a communicative disease.
So, Jonathan, I'm going to rain on your parade a little bit. I think you're thinking of a communicable disease.
Possibly.
Communicative just means like you're communicating, like you're talking.
Great. Awesome.
Very chatty disease. And to rain on your parade even more, you did write down the correct answer and was given to me by the opposite team. It is vector.
Nice, Troy.
The hard part of that for me was that I couldn't find any reason to go with it. Like, it didn't feel like it made sense for me. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah, and tuples are from like coding. So you put tuples in a vector if you are a coder like me.
So that's a strong clue for a coder then.
Yeah, so just, physics, geometry, coding, mathy things, fun, cute. All right, let's get into round 3. Question 3. Your category is sports.
Sports.
Elected to the National Baseball Hall of Fame in December 2023, what baseball manager is one of 8 to clinch pennants in both the National and American Leagues, doing so with the Florida Marlins in 1997 and the Detroit Tigers in 2006?
Yeah, that has to. I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, and Hannah, you can talk it out.
This is sports ball.
I really hope that's Troy's, like, I just have to pull a name face, but it's back there somewhere.
I am a baseball fan, and unfortunately not really a Tigers or Marlins fan. Won pennants in both the American and National Leagues, but the Tigers and the Marlins. I feel like I should know this.
This is my favorite kind of sports question, baseball in particular, where just a broad-ranging knowledge can help you get there, but it's not some super big detail where you have to know a very specific thing.
Right. I'm not sure I'm going to pull this one. You all have any in whatsoever, or is this just no? Okay. Wonderful.
I'm a semi-basebal fan, but
right, yeah,
not enough to.
Yeah.
I like band.
Who managed for the Tigers in the 2000s? It's gonna kill me when I hear it, but I don't think I'm gonna come up with it.
Lucky Smith or Johnson?
Possibly. The only manager for the Tigers that I'm coming up with is way too old, and Sparky Anderson. But that's like, he was a coach for them back in the 80s, I think. So that's the only name I can pull. So I guess we can go Anderson.
That's at least a name that
Yeah.
exists.
Hannah, Troy, and Chip said Anderson. Jonathan, what did you land on?
So I started with Anderson. I was like, okay, who do I know that coached the Marlins and the Tigers? And Anderson obviously coached for the Tigers, but he also won a pennant, multiple pennants with the Reds in the 70s, so that eliminated him for me. I also knew that Jack McKeon is the first manager of the Marlins, but no, it's not Jack McKeon either. What I realized, the name that came to me is like, oh, so this excludes the place where most people might remember him from. If they were watching baseball during the 80s and 90s, he was the head coach of the Pittsburgh Pirates when they were going up against the Braves, but they never won the pennant because they couldn't get past the Braves. And then he went on to coach the Marlins and the Tigers, and his name is Jim Leland.
So back in the early 2000s, the Detroit Tigers had a marketing campaign, "Who's your Tiger?" So people would say, "Who's your Tiger?" And people would say Miguel Cabrera or Justin Verlander. When someone asked me, "Who's my Tiger?" I would always say Jim Leland. I love that old man. I love him so much.
Yeah.
Just his vibe, just like cool, just old school cigar. Yeah. Jim Leland is the correct answer. And he is my Tiger and my guy forever. So at the end of round 3, we are tied up. Both teams have 60 points each.
All right.
For what it's worth, this is exactly the kind of game I was hoping for. This is a back and forth affair.
Yes! Freaking love it. So our midpoint is in the category of state flags.
And here's where it all goes to
beep.
I wrote this one a long time ago, and I tried to clue it up. So I think you should be okay. There are 4 U.S. state flags that do not contain the color blue. Name them. For the 4 flags, I will give you what is actually on the flag. So for the first one, there is a Zia sun. For the second one, it's the cross of St. Andrew. For the third one, 1 red star and a grizzly bear. And for the fourth one, a 17th century herald banner of Cecil, the Baron of who shares its name with the state's largest city.
I do not know what's on most state flags, so this is a real thinker for me. Zahkia, how specific are you when you're saying, hey, this is what's on here? Like if you, with whichever one I'm thinking about, if you say, hey, it has this and this, does that mean it has nothing else? Like no other colors at all? Or is that just the main focus of it?
So I'll elaborate. So for the first one, Zia sun, the Zia sun is the only thing on it. For the cross of St. Andrew, it is the only thing on it. The red star and the grizzly bear, it does have the name of the state on it. So I can't let you know that is. And the last one, it is as is. So
the grizzly bear one, it's not like there's no other color appearing, no stripe or anything like that.
Red star, grizzly bear, name of the state.
All right, cool. Thank you. I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Other team, you have 10 seconds.
Wow.
We're locked in.
I can say
we're good.
About settled at the same time Jonathan did.
Yeah, we just finalized it.
I'll go ahead and give mine first.
Okay.
So Zia sun, not familiar with this. I don't know what a Zia sun is, but if I had to pick any state that wasn't Florida that had a sun on it, I'd go with Arizona. And Zia appears in Arizona if you just mix the letters up a little bit. So I said Arizona for the first one. The cross of St. Andrew is on one of the Scandinavian flags. It's either the blue. No, it can't be the blue and yellow, and it can't be the blue and white, so it has to be the white and red. So Scandinavian basis for something white with a red cross on it. What's the most likely state to have a Scandinavian tie-in? I know the Vikings came through Canada and ended themselves in Minnesota at some point, so I went with Minnesota for the second one. The third one, I know that California has a bear on their flag. I feel like it might be California. I'm disturbed, though, because when I asked the question, does it have anything else? In my mind, there is like a green, like the bear is walking on a stripe of green or something. Like there's green and red on it in my mind, but I couldn't think of any other flag I've seen with a bear on it. So I said California. And the fourth one was the one that came most quickly. The flag with a giant seal on it's going to be the flag of Maryland. They also put the seal in the middle of the field on the Ravens games. Lord Baltimore would be the namesake of the largest city. So I said Arizona, Minnesota, California, Maryland.
All right, Hannah, Troy, and Chip, what did you say?
We also had kind of the same trajectory there with the sun. We went with Arizona for that. So the second one, Hannah suggested Maryland as the one with the crosses.
I'm almost positive the second one is Maryland. If I'm wrong, then I don't know the shape of Maryland's flag very well, but they're fairly obnoxious with their state flag if you live in this area. And so we went with Maryland for the second one.
And we all thought the same one. Everybody had the same idea about the grizzly bear, California.
Yeah. For the last one, we weren't really sure, but we were going through names that maybe sort of sounded like barons, and I thought Birmingham, Alabama, and I also know there's a minor league baseball team called the Birmingham Barons that I think Michael Jordan played for, and so we went with Alabama.
Okay, so the first one, the Zia sun. I would say, like, Arizona does have a sun-like sun rays thing going on with their flag, but there's a big blue field in it. The Zia sun is a yellow background with a little red sun in the middle. It's for New Mexico.
I thought New Mexico had more colors on it. Okay.
The Cross of St. Andrew. This is interesting. Jonathan did use the Scandi thing kind of correctly, that it is the red and white cross, but that's on the flag of Alabama.
Wow. So there's no real tie-in between Scandinavians and Alabama. They just picked it because of St. Andrew.
Yes.
Okay.
The one red star in the grizzly bear is California. Jonathan, I wasn't sure what you were getting at, but the bear is on grass. But yeah, I
kept asking, is there anything else on the flag? Meaning I said any colors.
I just felt like, the bear is on grass. It's a part of the bear. But yes, California, I love that flag. It looks like it should be on a t-shirt. And the Herald Banner of Cecil, the Baron of Baltimore. The correct answer is Maryland. So, and they are obnoxious about their flag. I personally love it, but I know I'm in the minority there.
So I just peeked at it just now. The California flag also has a giant red stripe going across the bottom of it. That's why, I feel like there's way more than just a bear on this flag. There is.
Well, you guys got it anyway. California is like, there's no blue.
There's not a scrap of blue on it. Yeah, I thought for extra long because I was like trying to find another flag with a bear.
There is not. Oh, so at the end of the midpoint, Jonathan, you have 70. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, you have 65.
All right.
Round 4, question 1. Your category, ¿Qué lo que? Más banderas, which means, what's up? More flags.
Beep, beep, beep.
Oh, God. I'm just trying
a theme.
Just trying to, ease in and ease out. Maybe because this Caribbean country gets its name from the patron saint of astronomers and the founder of an order of monks, it is the only country to feature a Bible on its flag, appearing in the country's coat of arms. You're going to have to share that when it's time.
I really got to get back to doing the geography quiz so I can just name all the damn Caribbean countries again. I can't do it anymore.
Right now, my mind is on Big Bang Theory with fun with flags.
I'm going to lock in.
Okay, Hannah, Chip, and Troy. Sorry, I got you didn't do anything. I got oddly winded or something. The wrong bubble went down the throat. Hannah, Chip, and Troy, you can talk it out.
I know we're talking about first thing I thought about. You said St. Thomas. I dropped that in there.
My first.
You gotta say it, Troy.
That's right.
My first suggestion was Saint Croissant, which was an autocorrect of Saint Croix. I like Saint Croissant a lot better.
I'm a big fan of Saint Croissant.
Very tasty place.
Buttery. And then you dropped Saint Martin as well.
Yeah, Saint Martin. Or Martin. I'm not sure how you pronounce it.
That's Martin, probably.
I know it's spelled like that, like Maarten, which sounds sort of astronomy to me. I don't know why, but all those Dutch astronomers and as far as like the monk order angle goes, I'm not sure. The order of Thomas, the order of Saint Martin,
the order of Croix or Croissant.
The Croissant order.
Yes.
I'd pledge.
Exactly what I was thinking.
That's right.
A little bit of jam on the side.
Some butter.
Pillsbury Abbey. That's another thing we didn't really think about. I guess I don't want to really lead us down this road because I don't know if we have time for it, but
you have 30 seconds.
It could just be named after the guy, and it might not be one of the Saint Islands.
That's true.
Right. Could be like Barbados or who knows, But I probably the Saint angle makes more sense.
I think out of all of them, I like Thomas. I have no idea why, but so don't hold me to it if it's wrong. But for some reason.
Well, we have 3 we're picking from, so it's shot in the dark.
Let's do it.
All right, it's time.
All right.
Thomas.
St. Thomas.
St. Thomas. All right, I did not type Thomas. Jonathan, what did you say?
So I also leaned into saints. I figured that would be a saint because it says it's a saint, patron saint of blah, blah, blah. I was very careful not to pick islands that are not countries. There are lots of islands that are not countries, Barbados being one of them. The only, and I know there's more than I named, but the 2 that I could be 100% sure were island countries were St. Lucia and St. Kitts and Nevis. I think St. Lucia might be the only country named after a woman. I don't even know if St. Kitts is named after a person or something else. St. Lucia is definitely named after a person, so I went with St. Lucia.
So this, I guess this is 10 points to me. I tried to clue you in, guys, a little bit with the category because it's in Spanish. The official language or the main language of this country is Spanish. The patron saint of astronomers, I understand how that will lead you toward the saints, but I was thinking, the saints are, not all of them are countries, like Jonathan was saying. The order of monks, the Dominican order, your answer is the Dominican Republic.
I even have it, before we started talking in the chat, I was just sort of scribbling names, and it's one of the ones I wrote down, and then we went the saint route, and I never brought it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how about that? Yeah, no, I wasn't getting that one. It was funny when I was picturing a Bible on the flag. For some reason, I'm picturing God from the Monty Python movies. That's the visual of the Bible that I got, was that kind of artwork.
So, Jonathan, to answer your question about St. Kitts, it's named after St. Christopher. Kit being a nickname for Christopher.
Oh, how about that? That's good to know right there.
Yeah. So, no sweat. Round 4 question to your category is science.
Science!
Hopefully, I pronounced this correctly because I wrote it twice in the question. Solanaceae are the family of flowering plants that include eggplants, potatoes, tobacco, and belladonna. Solanaceae are better known as what?
What's the word I'm looking for? I know this word. Come on. Oh, that's it, I think. Yeah, I'll lock in.
Yeah.
For the potato side, Troy, yes.
Yeah, that's the only. We'd said that, I know the potatoes are tubers, but I don't think those other things are.
Because eggplants are aubergines? Is that what the actual word of it is?
I'm not sure. What's a clue in the word there? Solanaceae. Sol would be like sun.
I just keep reading the question, hoping something
will pop out.
Come to me.
Yeah.
It has not worked so far.
Do either of you know what a belladonna is? Is it like a flower or a...
beautiful woman.
Right, sure.
It's an album by Stevie Nicks, I think.
But I thought it was used somewhat medicinally too. Not that gets you anywhere.
Tobacco is somehow related to nightshade.
I thought about nightshades, but there's there's some other nightshades that are on here. I'm like, maybe she left those out. That's my Zootopia moment coming out. So I was thinking about those nightshades at first.
That may be our good guess if we both came to that separately somehow.
Well, you put tubers down, like, I had nightshade, but I don't think tubers. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah, I'm good with that. If you both came to it on your own, then.
We want to say nightshade, Troy. You think that's our best bet, or?
I mean, yeah. I mean, if we have something better, we can certainly do that. But I don't know that we do.
Okay. Well, I guess we're locking with nightshade, Zahkia.
Jonathan, what did you say?
So belladonna is a poisonous plant. You mentioned medicinally. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a poison. I don't know about tobacco and potatoes, but I know that eggplants, tomatoes, and belladonna are all nightshades. So I locked in with nightshades.
In fact, belladonna is known as deadly nightshade on occasion. Your correct answer is nightshades. Nice job.
Excellent. Good job.
Yeah, you guys came around to that. I was like, oh, I didn't like that they came out with that.
Round 4, question 3. Your category is salt of the earth, and this is just me doing my best, like Nick Groves impression and writing a question.
Why would you ever do that?
Because I want to make you laugh. So, round 4, question 3, category salt of the earth. The question: Big Bone Lick State Park is located in this state.
Good for you, I guess. Big Bone Lick.
Big Bone Lick State Park is located in this state and gets its unusual name from the Pleistocene fossils of mammoths, mastodon, and other saber-toothed cat and mammoths, mastodon, and saber-toothed cats, among other species found there.
We got meow meow.
Oh. Meow meow. So meow meow, you're locked in?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan, tell me about Big Bone Lick State Park.
I don't know much about Big Bone Lick. It's not something in my repertoire. Okay, so the first thing that I think of when I think of fossils and states would be Montana. I know Montana is a place with lots of fossil discoveries, and that might be the most likely place. If my default that I'm going to go with here is Montana if I can't think of anything else. I don't know where Big Bone Lick is. That does not help me. Pleistocene fossils, mammoths, mastodon, saber-tooth, among other species. There's literally nothing else in there, and the category was salt of the earth. Salt, maybe a place with a lot of salt mines or something like that. Or it might just be Salt Lick and call it a day. Other places in that area also have fossils. Maybe like a Wyoming or an Idaho. I do not know. My best instinct is to go with Montana for fossils, so I'm going to say Montana.
Okay, Hannah, Chip, and Troy, you guys had le meow meow. Tell me why.
Yeah, because it's in the state that I am residing in right now. Big Bone Lick is in Kentucky. Kentucky is funny. It's got lots of very interestingly named places. We've got Possum Trot and Beaver Lick and lots of weird Rabbit Hash. But Big Bone Lick, there's a state park here called Big Bone Lick State Park. So we said Kentucky.
Yeah. Another hint was the mammoths. So you mentioned Mammoth Caves earlier.
I thought about that, but I was
Yeah.
like, no, that was not a clue. That's just a thing that,
No, it was a clue. Big Bone Lick State Park is located in Kentucky.
Good job.
Nice job. At the end of round 4, Jonathan, you have 80. Hannah, Chip, and Troy, you have 85.
Cool.
Okay, let's get into round 5, question 1. Your category, mommies.
Mommy.
Judith Love Cohen was an aerospace engineer with NASA and the designer of the abort guidance system that was credited for saving the men aboard the Apollo 13 mission. She also had 4 children, the youngest being this goofy Emmy and Grammy Award winner born in 1969 who runs a YouTube channel called Jablinski Games, one of his nicknames, others being JB and Jables.
was the category name again?
Mommies. It's time, y'all. I need answers.
God bless it. I feel like I'm just now starting to dig into the place that I need to be.
Hannah, Chip, and Troy, I see you guys are kind of rounding on an answer. Do you want to?
Okay, we'll lock in. Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
I mean, the aerospace engineer thing really strikes a chord. It should be very familiar. Goofy Emmy and Grammy winner is a thing that's just driving me crazy because Goofy means silly, or it might mean like something to do with actual Goofy from Disney. But an Emmy and Grammy award winner is an unlikely pairing. It's not often somebody has both. Usually a person with both is going to be somebody like a comedian because they can win a Grammy for best comedy album or something like that. But you can also have musicians who are also actors. Justin Timberlake's a good example. This person is 54 years old-ish, and that's the piece where it's really like, okay, it's not like somebody like Childish Gambino or something like that, because they're not old enough. And that's why I didn't end up with a good answer. My second best answer is Weird Al Yankovic. My best answer is Jared Leto. He's a musician. He's an actor. It's the best I got. I don't know.
Okay. Jonathan locked in with Jared Leto. Hannah, Troy, and Chip. What did you say?
I think Troy started this train.
So yeah, we didn't really have an in on the actual knowledge of it. And so we started looking around at the names and just trying to piece it together. I locked in on the JB and the Jables. And we kind of just started thinking of comedians who are goofy that have those initials. And we came on Jack Black, which also is like Jables might be the JA from Jack and BL might be the BL from Black. And so we said Jack Black.
JB and KG have a band called Tenacious D that won a Grammy in 2015. And our correct answer, Jack Black, won an Emmy this year for Kung Fu Panda or something. So, yes, Jack Black is your correct answer. And his mom was a rocket scientist.
Nice.
It's a really, really good poll. As soon as you said it, I'm like, yep, that's the person whose mom is a rocket scientist. Damn it. It was in there. God, but just couldn't get there. I think I was distracted by all the other information in the question. Like Jablinski in particular was distracting because it made it sound like JB could just be short for Jablinski. And so I didn't focus in on the initials like I should have.
No lie, I kept saying Jabroni.
That sounds like some Jablinski. Sounds like something he might say in the Kung Fu Panda movie, just like Jablinski.
I also liked Jennifer Love Hewitt because of the Love middle name until I reread it and got to his nickname and was like, darn it.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Jennifer Love Hewitt. That's not a bad guess. But,
it's the right age.
So round 5, question 2. Your category is music. Raising Sand and Raise the Roof are 2 collaborative albums released by what 2 artists? One is a bluegrass singer and instrumentalist with 27 Grammy Awards. The other is the singer for an iconic English rock band formed in 1968.
There are far too many iconic rock band English singers from that era. Damn it, they're still alive. Doggone it. I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Hannah, Chip, and Troy, you can talk it out.
Hannah, if you have some pull on that, it's going to be the best thing
Yeah, but I have no end. I'm trying to figure out the second one.
Okay.
Well, you guys can talk about it out loud.
Hannah had mentioned Alison Krauss as being a bluegrass musician who we think has won a ton of Grammys, and I think that's right. I think it's that she has won a lot. I don't know if she's won 27 of them, but the thing that's getting me is the collaborative album. Like who would work together that we would recognize that would make like double albums? And like Jonathan said, 1968, that could be any number of singers from the classic rock era. I think like Ozzy Osbourne or anyone from I can't even think of the names now, but like Pink Floyd and can't think of his name. Roger Daltrey, is that right?
It's gonna bug me.
I know that Ozzy Osbourne did recently put out an album. I don't know that it was a collaborative album with anybody, but because I think he won a Grammy for it.
But it would make sense if something that happened recently, it might be brought back to attention.
I'm trying to, I'm restudying the album names to try and see if there's anything in there.
It would be interesting if Ozzy Osbourne had an album called Raise the Roof. Raising Sand, maybe.
About a minute left, friends.
Okay. Who are some other bluegrass? I should know. Kentucky is a bluegrass state. I should know some more bluegrass people, but I don't. Like John Prine, but he just passed away. Yeah, I'm not coming up with anything. We have two names we can suggest, but that would be quite the odd combination.
Yeah.
You guys want to go with that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go with Ozzy Osbourne and Alison Krauss. Most epic.
The most strangest album you've ever
heard. Right on time, too. Jonathan, what did you say?
So the definite part of this is Alison Krauss. She won 27 Grammy Awards. For me, that was a gimme. 1968 English band, a little harder. Roger Daltrey is the lead singer for The Who, formed around that time, I think. Mick Jagger, lead singer of the Rolling Stones, I think they formed in 61, though. The band that I ended up going with was Led Zeppelin and Robert Plant as the lead singer. They're English, they're a rock band, they formed around that time, and there's something about that pairing that felt good to me. So I said Krauss and Plant.
Right. Everyone clued in on the bluegrass singer with the many Grammy Awards. That is indeed Alison Krauss. Nice job. Jonathan, you are correct. There are a lot of iconic English rock band singers in 1968, but you chose the correct one. The answer is Robert Plant.
Yes!
As soon as you said it, I was like, yeah, I do remember them hooking up for an album, or apparently 2 albums. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. The first one was in 2007, and they did another one more recently. But yeah, Alison Krauss and Robert Plant. Round 5, question 3, your category. Arg! The debate goes on and on.
Okay, that's a category right there. I love it.
Much like the GIF versus GIF debate, there is an ongoing argument about the pronunciation of this data interchange format derived from JavaScript. The creator, Douglas Crockford, says it's pronounced like the name, but another pronunciation emphasizing the first letter has also grown popular.
Uh-oh. I hope none of y'all are data people or computer people in general.
I am.
I'm surrounded by them, but I'm not one of them.
I am a director in an IT organization, and I am not good at the technical. I'm good at figuring things out. I'm wonderful at that, that plays in any job. But yeah, no.
All right, friends, it's time.
I'll lock in.
All right. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, what do you have for me?
A big old bag of nothing.
I think Hannah has the most information, which is, we don't have a good answer, but she had sort of.
Yeah, I mean, it's leading me down more of like a file transfer type file rather than the GIF debate, which is more picture based. But that's about all I have, and I can't think of anything that would be something that you would have a debate over how you pronounce it. Honestly, I don't even know if we have anything.
Yeah, we might just have to tap out on this one.
Yeah,
not even a Lucky Johnson?
You mean Jay Onson?
Johnson.
Yeah, I like that.
Johnson.
Okay.
All right. Jonathan, what did you say?
I mean, I also had a whole lot of nothing, and I am closer to this. I don't truly know what the data interchange format is, so that's a problem for me. I noticed that you gave the category name like a pirate. You said, "Arg, the debate goes on and on." And so I was like, okay, Blackbeard, Redbeard. Anne Bonny is the name of a famous pirate. William Teach is the name of a famous pirate. But then I was also like, I feel like JavaScript was related to Flash somehow, so maybe it's Flash and some people call it F-Flash. I honestly don't know. I ended up going with Bonnie.
Okay. This is 10 points to me. I've learned my lesson about coding questions, but the hint, there are a couple in here. JavaScript, JS, ARG. The debate goes on and on and on. If maybe you've heard this before, it might be helpful. JSON.
JSON.
Sometimes people say JSON. I say JSON, but Douglas Crawford says it's pronounced Jason. ARG is also for like Argonaut.
I'm familiar with the term. I wouldn't have told you it was a data interchange format at all.
Yeah.
I wasn't good enough there.
It is Jason or JSON, as I like to say, and apparently it's wrong, but okay.
or Hayson.
Yeah, or Hayson or Yason or no, JSON. So at the end of round 5, Jonathan, you have 90. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, you have 95.
All right. Like I said, likely to be low scores, but still very competitive.
Yes, and this last round was written by Rob Warman. He sent me a message like, "Hey, can you use some questions?" So I'm like, "Yeah, I'll get you a whole round, buddy." So, round 6, question 1, your category, The Academy and Company. While it isn't the only musical to win and there are no cats in it, what is the only G-rated film to win the Academy Award for Best Picture, doing so in 1968?
What was the category name again?
The Academy and Company.
I'm going to lock in.
Okay. Troy, Chip, Hannah, you can talk it out.
Ooh, Troy.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah, once she said the title of the category again, it made total sense.
Oh, yeah.
I like that a lot.
So, guys.
So, Troy just put in the chat. So, I started it off with Sound of Music, which I wasn't comfortable with, but I couldn't think of anything else. And then Troy put in Oliver, and that's what got us all reacting favorably. So, I think we're going to lock in with Oliver.
Okay. Jonathan, what did you say?
So, I don't know the answer as the answer, but the clue that you gave was Academy and Company. There was a Don Bluth movie in the late 80s, early 90s called Oliver and Company, where Oliver was a little orange cat. And Oliver Twist is a popular story from Dickens, so I'm sure there are movies called Oliver, and that's what I went with.
Both teams say Oliver. Your correct answer is Oliver.
All right.
Nice job. Round 6, question 2. Your category is common words. There's a lot of extra flavor in this one, so hold on to your butts. According to oh, you okay?
Just holding on to my butt.
You look so alarmed.
I'm keeping it in hand, if you know what I mean.
All right. Oh, according to Duolingo, there are 2 words that mean the same thing in all the world's modern languages. Both of them are food words. One food originating from the Middle East, the other from Mesoamerica. Name either of these words. The extra flavor that is provided is that use either word basically in any country and it has the same meaning everywhere, though pronunciations can be slightly different. So like a letter off, kind of. I have one more hint if you would like it.
I don't turn down hints.
Okay.
What about y'all?
That's fine.
We'll take it.
All right.
My extra hint is that these foods are often paired together, at least in the US, but yes. The hint should say these, not just foods, because yes, foods get paired all the time, but these 2, and you just name either.
Jesus.
I was going to say.
Would that be the Middle Eastern food?
Oh.
This is my body.
My finger slipped.
I will go ahead and lock in.
Okay. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, you can talk it out. You have about a minute left.
So yeah, we were discussing, I don't know that we've really come to any kind of consensus, but words that mean the same thing across the world's modern languages. I guess I was a little confused if they just have to have the same meaning, or if the spelling in the actual language itself is so similar that it would be.
Because I know you said it would be like a couple of letters difference in the words as well. So we're hooked up on that.
Yeah. Because my first thought was to go to like what are the most common foods, right, that you see everywhere. And so my immediate thought went to bread and cheese, which often go together. And I think that bread originates in Mesoamerica. Not sure where cheese comes from, but maybe I've heard Middle East. I'm not sure.
Cows,
sure. Or sheep.
Also,
or goats.
Or between my toes.
Ew.
All right,
It's
toe
being
cheese.
gross. It is time though, so
What do you guys want to go with?
I mean, I think bread, out of all of the ones that we threw out, is the one that might be the closest across everything. So,
Okay.
All right, we're gonna go with bread.
okay, Jonathan, what did you say?
I'm really not good at food questions. Just one of those things I never got good at. For Mesoamerican, I was thinking possibly maize or even corn. For Middle Eastern, I was like, okay, falafel, tabbouleh, and I ended up going with something that you can pair lots of things with, hoping that might be a trick to it, and guessed hummus. Don't laugh at my answers. It's not a bad answer.
It's not a bad answer. I'm just laughing because that's what Dane said.
All right, Dane, me and you, brother.
Dane also likes hummus a lot. But I guess the points are going to go to Rob Warman. One of these foods we think of it as sweet, and it's the one from Mesoamerica. That is chocolate. So it's chocolate.
Did you say that, Chip?
In my mind, if I was by myself, I want to say bananas and chocolate. But that was just me.
But you didn't say that to your team?
I did not, because I thought the bread idea was good, and I want to stick with it, and I don't like
You did mention banana.
I did.
Oh, no.
So one of this chocolate, it's chocolat or chocolate or chocolat, or yeah. And the other is coffee from the Middle East.
Yes.
So cafe, coffee, coffee. So yes, the two words are coffee and chocolate.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. Last question of regulation play. Round 6, question 3. Your category. Madonna's fortunate or.
What?
It'll.
Like spell or?
O-R-E.
O-R-E. Okay.
Yeah. The company sometimes ties its initials to the phrase life's good, but what do the letters L and G stand for in the company name?
I swear to God, I thought it was life's good.
So did I.
And you said the category is Madonna's fortunate or.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it, but it's what I got. I'll lock in.
Okay.
So I started it off by saying that if the G was for gold, because it was the only or I could think of that started with either one of those letters. And then Troy, and I'm going to let Troy finish it.
Then said, well, if that's the G, then what would be fortunate? A synonym for fortunate, and lucky seemed like the one to go. So we said lucky gold.
That's what we're locking in with.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Jonathan, what did you say?
And very similarly, I was like, okay, well, or could be gold. That starts with a G. I don't think it's going to be gallium or something like that. And Madonna has a song called Lucky Star. So fortunate also means lucky. Why don't we try lucky gold?
Officially, the company's name is Lucky Gold Star, but I'm going to give it to you guys Lucky Gold because L stands for lucky and G stands for gold.
There it is.
Points for both teams. So, go at the end of round 6 and going into our gauntlet. Jonathan, you have 110. Hannah, Troy, and Chip, you have 115.
Oh, no, I'm losing. I don't like losing.
Your category for the gauntlet is Ad Astra. A-D-A-S-T-R-A.
All right, my wager's locked in.
Okay.
Our wager is locked in.
Perfect. Question 1 of your gauntlet, your category is Ad Astra. Areology is the study of what planet?
That's the whole question.
We're locked in.
Okay.
Okay. My answer is Locked in.
Okay. Question 2 of your gauntlet. Astrologically speaking, the planet Pluto has transitioned out of Capricorn and into this next sign of the zodiac, whose birth time is now between January 20th and February 18th.
Locked in?
My answer's locked in.
Okay. Question 3 of your gauntlet. As may be evidenced by his most famous body of work, The Planets, what composer was also an amateur astrologer?
I think we both have meow meows. I'm locked in. We were talking about Mars Bringer of War earlier in the show, and I think I named him.
Do you know how quiet I had to be?
Yeah, I think both teams are locked in.
Yeah, we're locked in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we need to say it. Yeah.
All right. So let's collect some answers. So areology is a study of what planet? Jonathan, what did you say?
I went through all the planets trying to find connections. The best connection I found was that Mars is the Roman name for the Greek Ares. Areology sounds like it could be Aresology. I locked in with Mars.
And Hannah, Troy, and Chip, what did you say?
We also said Mars. I don't even think we had none of us were, that's not true. Chip did say Ares. So we also went with Mars.
Question 2. Astrologically speaking, Pluto has transitioned out of Capricorn and into what sign of the zodiac, which is now? Hannah, Troy, and Chip, what did you say?
We said Aquarius. My birthday was like 2 weeks ago. So.
And Jonathan, what did you say?
I worked it out astrologically, but I also could have just gone with the Fifth Dimension when they were singing the song about the age of Aquarius, age of Aquarius. That is about Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius.
Oh, I want to sing so bad. Question 3. Big meow meows on this one. What composer was also an amateur astrologer? Hannah, Troy, and Chip.
Do y'all want a 3-2-1 gauntlet answer?
Ooh, you guys want
Chip,
it?
do you want to?
Go for it, Chip.
If you saw me, I wish you guys could see me convulsing as she read the question.
Zahkia, count us down at 3, 2, 1. Chip and I will give our answer.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Holst.
Gustav Holst.
Gustav Holst.
All right. Let's it seems like everyone is in agreement with answers. So let's just go from the top. Areology is the study of Mars, which is correct.
Awesome.
Aries, Mars, Greek, and Roman. Nice job. Pluto has transitioned out of Capricorn into Aquarius. Aquarius. And the composer of the planets, the amateur astrologer, is indeed Gustav Holst, as mentioned earlier in the game. So you guys nailed the gauntlet. Nice job.
Awesome.
So this really does come down to wagers.
We were
Why don't we go with my wager first and then go with theirs?
Jonathan, you were trailing a little bit. What did you wager?
So I was very conservative with my wager. My expectation was that you would probably take the lowest bet you could make without risking the game, which would be 4, because if I was to bet 0 and you were to bet 4, you couldn't lose. So assuming you would bet 4, that means you could finish with 119 if you got them all right. And so I wanted to get on top of that, so I wagered 10. So I will finish with 120, meaning if you bet 5 or 5 would be a tie, anything more than 5 would be a win.
Hannah, Troy, and Chip, what did you wager?
We were a little bit too conservative.
Yeah, we were talking in the chat before we started talking out loud about our wager, and I didn't really, based on the category name, I kind of knew what it could be about, but I wasn't feeling super confident about it, and I don't think anyone else super was either, and so we started talking wagers. We debated 10, and we debated 0, and we went with 0.
So, with a final score of 120 to 115, Jonathan, you have won the 3-on-1. You are indeed a strapping young lad.
Oh,
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good job, Jonathan.
I got to tell y'all, I think you made the right wager because I could have absolutely gone 0 because it's very likely you're going to bet more than 4. So that's one piece of it. And the likelihood that I was getting 3 questions in a row right in this game by myself after missing 9 out of 20, or like after missing maybe 10 out of 20, very unlikely that we're both getting the gauntlet right. Very likely that we're both missing the gauntlet. And if we both miss, you guys have the right wager.
Yeah, I was typing out a message and I didn't hit send. It's like, this played easier than I thought it was going to.
Yeah, those were all. And Ad Astra made me think space, and I'm decent with space. I'm not great. I'm not like Carmela, but I am decent with it. I'm really good with astrology, though. Y'all, that was a really good game. Before we go, we like to give everybody a chance to do shout outs and promote causes that they care about. Hannah, we'll start with you.
Thank you all for having me on again. I've been getting the email for a while and it's always lined up that I was busy. So I was happy that I was able to make this work. So thank you all. Shout out or a cause or whatever. I was going to say support your local arts as a member of a volunteer symphony. It's always fun to see people from the community that's not connected to a player in some way at those concerts. So support your local arts.
Absolutely. Love that. I also, in terms of arts, for what it's worth, and I'm very proud of this, there were 3 questions about classical music in this game, and I managed to get all 3. I am very proud of that. Chip, we'll go to you next.
Going on the same thing about Hannah, just having music. I know March coming up, there's music in our schools month. Thank a music teacher. Thank a teacher, because we're going through some stuff with all the changes and things that are happening. So big shout out to all my other teachers. Also shout out to my trivia team. There's a flask in my desk. So
that's the team name?
It is.
Yes.
That's super good.
Love that.
What are how many people are on your trivia team?
We're all teachers. It depends on who can make it. There's usually either between 5 and 10.
Woo! Good for y'all. That's awesome.
All over. Math, English, music, everything.
Love it. Oh, congratulations. That's cool. It's awesome like that. All right. And Troy, we'll end with you.
Yeah. Again, thanks for having me back on. This is always a blast. Shout out to my wife for watching the kids and letting me do this, Megan.
Woohoo.
I'll say hi to Clara and Eli, too, so that they might listen at some point.
Love that.
In terms of causes, I echo what both of them said about the arts and especially local community arts, but also teachers. I'm spent my life dedicated to education. Teachers definitely do not get the kind of respect that they should. And I also include in that daycare workers and having 2 young children. They're grossly undervalued and underpaid. So keep that in mind when you are, in the position to help those people out and thank them when you can.
Absolutely. All right. Well, guys, this was a great game, but that is going to wrap us up. So for Chip, for Hannah, for Troy, and Zahkia, my name's Jonathan, and this has been episode number 468 of Trivial Warfare, where it's not just trivia, it's war. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
It's not just war, it's Mars, the bringer of war.
Thanks for listening to Trivial Warfare. Be sure to check out the revamped TRIVIALWarfare.com as your one-stop shop to submit questions, join the community, and get access to over 150 archived episodes. Warm It Up was written and performed by Matthew Stevens. This episode was edited and produced by me, Joel Sharpton. For help with your podcast, visit ProPodcastingServices.com.